Marvel finds a home in Disney Plus.
And Star Wars makes me the happiest man on earth. This and more.
Movie Minds.
Movie Mouth.
Hey guys, this is Ish.
This is Ant.
And that's Ray.
What's up, guys?
We're Movie Minds, where we keep you up to date with all the movie news, reviews, and some shows.
Guys, and follow us on all our social media platforms. Guys, we appreciate all the likes, all the subscriptions, everything you guys comment. It was really, really fun on the comment section on our last video. Please continue to do so. We will be bringing it. So other than that,
let's go on to some worthy mentions with our guest, Ray Torres.
That's right. So here we go, Disney Plus, FX, and they just released that they are going to be creating an Alien series, and none other than Mr. Ridley Scott is going to be producing it as well. So thoughts, gentlemen?
What I heard is that it's the same people who did Fargo, which if you haven't seen the Fargo series, it's amazing. Like it's such a great adaptation of the actual movie. You would think like, why would I want to watch a whole series on Fargo? But they seem like the writers and everyone seemed to like really figure it out and how to make it like captivating TV. So knowing that those people are the same people adapting Alien is just like crazy. It's just gonna be so good. It's gonna be really rad.
I hear good stuff about that series too. I was looking it up after you told us about it yesterday, and I'm like really excited to watch it because I want to give it a shot. This series is actually going to be taking place on Earth. I think it's one of the first times that the Alien series is actually really going to like cement themselves on Earth. So that's really interesting because I don't really remember there being a huge like outbreak of aliens, in the canon of Aliens. So I don't know.
Well, because they're like cowboys, right? Like the whole thing of Alien is these cowboys are kind of like going out, like these Voyagers are going out, and they're all like normal Earthlings. Like you always think they're always super. These are just like people, like hard, like blue collared workers out in space. So it's gonna be kind of crazy to see like what they're gonna do. Is it gonna be like an origin, or is it gonna be like them finding, seeing there's alien life, and then the lead up to the mission to go to Alien. So it's kind of cool. They have like so much wide range of whatever they can do. And
I always thought that it would be like nowadays, like right now, the 2020 or something. Like that. No, you're right. It'll be like 2090 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, FX and Disney are keeping a lot of that show under wraps. They didn't release too much information about what's going to happen, but they did say that Ridley Scott is going to be heavily participating in just the creation of the show and where the show is actually going to be kind of, the direction of it. So that is pretty great news. I'm a huge Alien fan. The last ones, Prometheus, all those things were just amazing, guys. So I can't wait to see what they have in store for the series. In other news, Disney Plus is all over the place, as we know, but it came out with something that's near and dear to my heart. And I know it's near to Ray's heart. I don't know about Ish, but there is a new Mighty Ducks series coming out. I was a kid, and when I was a kid,
Emilio!
It's the V. It was great. I followed all the films till they were in college, till they went to overseas to go and battle the other hockey teams. It was great. I can't wait for the series. The trailer looks great. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, well, Ray is such a fan that him and his friend Pete started their own podcast just about this franchise. And I'll tell you guys, I listened to the first episode and it's a great fun ride. To be honest with you, I really enjoyed it. The quality of it is great, man. So he's on right now.
Yeah. That's the whole reason I'm promoting our podcast. It's called Ducks Fly Together. It's a ridiculous, in-depth conversation of the 90s film trilogy, The Mighty Ducks. So we get into it. I mean, for the last few years, we would just me and my friend Pete would just be drinking and would be like, hey, remember why was Bombay, popping pills in the first movie, or isn't he supposed to be on probation? And we would start picking holes at all the plot. And then even when in part 2, Bombay turns into the evil coach, has his hair slicked back, and he's like, and we're always like, dude, he was on cocaine this whole time. He's totally on cocaine this whole time because he's like all hopped up and he's partying with like Hollywood. So we get into all of that, but seeing that like they are gonna like pick up where like the movies left off and into an actual series, like the faith that I have in reboots from the way that people have been doing them with like Cobra Kai and all these different, like, let's not do a reboot where it's just the same thing over. It's like, let's look at it from a different angle, and knowing that like Emilio Estevez is back in it, and like I can see them like, all right, how do we make this like for this generation or for the people that like still want to see cool stuff, but then also for kids. And that's what Cobra Kai did, you know? So it's like, hopefully it takes that same kind of like page of the book and then just do it really rad. Like that's what's exciting about all this stuff. Like, it's reboots are dope. Like they're going to be so good.
What's crazy is that the actual trailer itself looks like a movie. At first, I was under the impression it isn't a series, but when I watched the trailer, it made me feel like, wait, hold on, is this a movie or is it a series? Because the trailer really looks like a movie. And also the kid from Good Old Boy or Good Boys, the movie produced by Seth Rogen, comes out in it. A kid that is very funny to me. I really liked him in Good Boys. And then Emilio Estevez looks older, but he looks like he's like the same kind of attitude guy. He was a lawyer, I believe, in the first Mighty Ducks. And so I feel like what you're saying right about it is that they are taking kind of like a little Cobra Kai kind of feel to it, because they're this kid gets kicked out of the Mighty Ducks team, and so they're going to go and create another team to try to battle them. So it actually looks really interesting, guys. I love the Mighty Ducks, and I listened to your show this morning, and you guys are awesome, man. It was really good. It was a great time to just hear about all the stuff that when I was a kid as well. So
this is also good news because we were only planning on doing like 3 episodes for each of the movies. So now that there's like a whole series, we're like, after every show, we're doing an after show.
Dude, after show, like podcasts, like, dude, you can ride that wave, man, for sure.
Yeah.
So another news, also another Disney Plus. I mean, dude, they're everywhere. I'm telling you, they're taking over the world. Sister Act 3 is now under development at Disney, with Whoopi Goldberg signed on to be Sister Mary Clarence again. So Disney came out with this news, and they are talking to the old cast of all the 2 Sister Act movies to come back. It's still left to be known whether they are going to be back, but it's under development, guys. What do you think?
Bring Lauryn Hill back, buddy. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Bring her back.
There's not a lot of sequels. I mean, part 2s are always like, The Dark Knight, and then there's like Godfather 2, but like Sister Act 2 is like in that same echelon of sequels to me. It is top tier. It is top tier of movie sequels, dude. So seeing part 3 coming out and all that, it's gonna be pretty dope. Yeah,
they gotta get that kid that when they're singing that song in the choir and he just hits that Sunny Day. Everybody turns around. Like, oh dang, So I hope they bring that kid back, man. It's fun. Did you like Sister Act when you were growing up?
I grew up with that, man. Like I got introduced to like gospel there when I was a kid. Like,
oh no way, that's cool.
Yeah, because I grew up in a super conservative Spanish home, so gospel was not a thing, So like I totally got introduced to gospel music through that. So
anyway, that is your worthy mention, guys. There it is.
All right, guys. So let's go on to Hot Tops. There is a ton of news, and we're going to be breaking this down in 2 main subjects, one Marvel and another Star Wars. And so the first one, we got a rundown, almost 24 new projects that were announced on a few days ago. And so let's run them down. We're going to be focusing on some of them right now. So the first up, WandaVision trailer 2 reveals some new story details. What If series got an actual trailer that teased alternative MCU realities, so that was really cool. And then we also have our first look at Miss Marvel, and that was a doozy. But the thing that I really thought I think that we're going to kind of land on right now is the MCU's Fantastic Four movie officially announced. and it's happening with the Spider-Man director. So, what do you guys think about that, man?
Oh, dude. I mean, it sucks because like I feel like Fantastic Four has been the one that like they keep trying, trying so hard to do, and it's just cool that it's going to be in the hands of the director of Spider-Man. You know, it's going to be like he's the one that's going to be doing like taking the reins of it because he has such a cool vision and like that he had for Spider-Man. So Fantastic Four, I'm excited to see like their take on it because he didn't really do Spider-Man the same as everybody else. He didn't, he's not doing. So I'm excited to see what they're doing. I was super pumped for the last Fantastic Four movie, the last one that came out with like Michael B. Jordan,
Oh
because
yeah,
that trailer looked amazing. Like it looked amazing.
it did.
But now now I'm just kind of like I'm all in. I bought season tickets for John Watts, so that's everything he does now. I'm in for it.
For reals, dude. He's doing the third Spider-Man, which is it's looking like it's going to be Spider-Verse, and all this, Sam Raimi characters coming back, and Amazing Spider-Man characters also coming back. So this director seems like he's going to hit 3 for 3, and him being able to do that with Fantastic Four, just bringing like some sort of family vibe to it. Which is already, it's in essence of that's what Fantastic Four are. And I just feel like there's so much security in this, so much security. Like I could double down as well. Like I'm all in with this director. So
yeah, John Watts is the director, and he is one of those people that started when he was given actually the Spider-Man franchise was starting off, and not a lot of people knew about his work, but he is just one of those visionary guys. And and honestly, guys, if it's going to work out, if Fantastic Four was ever going to work out with anybody, it's going to work out with this guy right here. I know that Matt Reeves was also attached to it for a while. There was a bunch of other people that were attached, but they fell off because the franchise, a lot of the studios always get their hands in the middle of all these things, and they think that this franchise and these characters should go towards that way, and the directors have a different kind of mentality about them, and so they get into this whole fight, and then it ends up the director dropping out of the movie. John Watts, though, however, it looks like he has a really cool take on it. I'm sure they're probably gonna be more family oriented, bring more kids into it. He's really gonna make it his own, and you're gonna feel that Spider-Man vibe in it, in the way that he does, because it's so unique the way that he shoots movies, the way that he does his angles, the way that he just tells a story. So I'm super excited about this, man. Fantastic Four. I've never been a huge fan of the earlier ones, like the Marvel ones with Captain America being Johnny Storm, first name with. Yeah, exactly. I've never, and then the last one would just really sucked.
Dude, you could tell even the guy
has promise.
The guy who even did the last one was like so pissed of how it came out. Like the director, he was like, they changed so much stuff. Like I had a whole specific vision, and they made us do reshoots. Because they knew it was like gonna bomb, so they were like, let's try to salvage it, and it was just made it even worse. And so like that trailer was so dope. That trailer looks so dope, and then it just kind of fell apart. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, dude, a lot of high hopes on that one.
Yeah.
So John Krasinski and a couple of other people are still attached to this movie for playing certain characters.
I hope he does come on to that, man. He would be a perfect what's his name? Mr. Fantastic?
Mr. Fantastic.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then Emily Blunt as an Invisible Woman, supposedly. This is all just rumors. We will see.
Who
happens.
Emily Blunt, dude.
Who is it? Who? Emily Blunt.
It would be perfect, dude. Oh my gosh. Dude.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it would be. Anyway, so let's go on to the next few ones. So we got She-Hulk brings back Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner, and also the Abomination. Secret Invasion TV show starring Nick Fury is also announced, which is pretty interesting. Ironheart TV show starring Dominique Thorne as Riri. War Machine leads Armor Wars TV show as well. And there's a lot of course, there's tons of shows right now, but the big one that was announced also was Falcon and Winter Soldier. The trailer revealed that it was going to be released on March 2021, which is only 3 months away. So what do you guys think?
I think with the Falcon Winter Soldier, I think everybody was anticipating that there'd be a trailer for it a little sooner than it came out this last time because of so much, just so much stuff out there already from it. I really like the trailer. I think Sebastian. His name is Sebastian. What is it? Bulk. He honestly, man, I can see him as the next one, the next Captain America, and I know right now it looks like Falcon is the next Captain America because of what happens at the end of Endgame. And Captain America gives him the shield. I think that this show, and I could be wrong, but I think that this show is going to develop itself to where Sebastian, the Winter Soldier, is actually going to become Captain America. That's what I think. I just don't see, and it's not because of anything else, but because I just see Bucky was always supposed to be that guy. I just don't see the Falcon as Captain America, but we'll see. The show is actually really, really good, and I'm sure it's going to have a bunch of cameos from a bunch of different kind of characters, from my understanding, and it's going to be one of those action shows that are probably going to do well. So I'm excited for the Winter Soldier, man. I really am. It looks like a good watch.
It has Winter Soldier vibes, Captain America's Winter Soldier vibes. I think that it's going to be around what you were talking about, and like I really think that it's going to be not the fight, but the rite of passage for the Captain America mantle. Whoever goes through the trials, goes through the BS about having this weight of a hero of that magnitude that saved pretty much the universe, may weigh on one person a lot, so that might be a centric theme of the show. But yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about it. So we'll see. What about you, Ray? I know you weren't too excited about this, right? You're like, whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm all in for it, but it is like there are I don't know, I just wasn't. It was kind of weird to me that they put those two together for a series. Like, I mean, I'm more interested in what this is going to be about, like what the mission is going to be about for this. Kind of the same way, like for Mandalorian, like I wasn't cool Mandalorians, like or the Boba Fett race or whatever, but it was like I was more interested in like what they're going to do. So that's more. I'm like, cool. I'm in for Falcon Winter Soldier. They're okay, but I'm like I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with those two people in like a series. So that's where I'm excited with.
So you're saying if they have a Baby Yoda in this show, you're all in for it. That's what
dude, add Baby Yoda anywhere, dude.
It'll save anything, really.
Little shield,
save the Star Wars franchise.
Little shield, little wings.
Yeah. Great. All right, so let's go on to the next few. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, which sounds pretty interesting. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 gets a 2023 release date. I Am Groot TV show brings back Baby Groot. See, that's kind of like the Baby Yoda of the franchise. And Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantum Mania. They have a few announcements on that. Conquer the Conquerors coming into fruition in the MCU.
Yeah.
Which is really exciting. Christian Bale is Gore, the God Butcher in Thor and Love and Thunder. So those are some big stuff we could talk about. But the thing that we kind of want to finish off on is a Loki trailer, confirmed Endgame timeline, and lots more weirdness coming out on
so good
2022. So
it looks so good. Like just the way they put the trailer together. Freaking Owen Wilson just tearing up the scenes. Like you're just like, yeah, like it's so cool. I was telling you guys, like the DB Cooper playing Jack Keen guy, like how they integrated that into Loki being a trickster, and it's just crazy. It looks so good. It looks like I was like, oh cool, this is gonna be a dope movie, and it's a series, right? So I'm like, all right, cool, I'm all into. Like that's even see like that's what I'm saying. Like that I'm in. They kind of showed the idea, and they showed like I'm all in for that character. So it's like it just now it's dope.
Yeah, I think one of the things that really interests me about the Loki, it was great. It was the highlight of trailers that came out in regards to what Plus came out with in Marvel Universe. One of the things that I'm excited about is the fact that obviously we know that in I believe it was in Endgame or Infinity War. Loki gets the Tesseract and he transports because of everything that was going on when they went back in time. So in the time frame that Loki does that, or the show is in, it's definitely still in the time frame that all our favorite superheroes are still alive. So Tony Stark hasn't died yet. Captain America is still around. So we'll see what happens to that. One of the things that really interested me a lot and just kept me like, wow, I can't believe that's going to happen, is that we saw the Bifrost when he was falling from, one of the planes that he threw himself from, and the Bifrost kind of scoops him up. So where is this thing taking him? I'm like, what the hell is going to happen? And the other thing that's going to happen that's really, really interesting is that Lady Sif is also coming back to the Loki series. Oh, cool. So that's really, really cool. I thought that girl had probably died in the what's it called, in the Thanos freaking I thought that's what happened to her. But she's coming back. Deadline reported that Lady Sif is definitely coming back for Thor 4. He's going to be Love and Thunder, but she's also going to be in the new Loki series. So that's super exciting.
Yeah, the thing that really attracts me a lot about the series is like it's a what if series. Really, it's a whole thing of an alternate universe where there's just different possibilities, and we could go through the highlights of the MCU timeline and change it. So like we could go through like the Winter Soldier, like the Hydra thing, and like him just distorting that, and he could go through even like Ultron. He could actually get Ultron to help him escape, because he knows how he had a freaking gem, right? And you could team up with Ultron. So there's so many possibilities, and the budgets are only getting bigger for these shows. Honestly, like, they have the technology. Look, dude, Ray got confused there. It was a movie. I thought it was a movie too, to be quite honest. I was like, wait, dude, this is a game changer, man. This could be a whole different TV universe in itself, and people will come for it, to be honest with you. So yeah, it's exciting. All right.
I mean, this could probably bring back Tony Stark, dude, out of the grave. Who knows?
That'd be cool, like a season finale type of deal, and like.
Yeah, dude, I'm just excited about this show so much, dude. I can't wait.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be great. So, all right, guys. So let's go on to the next hot top, which is so dear to my heart. I almost had a heart attack when I was watching the tweets on these things. So Lucasfilm also dropped a lot of working titles, guys. We're going to be talking about the first two movies. The first one is the Untitled Taika Waititi film, is actually confirmed now. And also the next Star Wars feature film will be Rogue Squadron, directed by the beautiful Patty Jenkins and talented.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be dope. She knows how to make action films. She knows how to make films. She made Monster, an Academy Award winning movie. Like, she knows how to work with actors, where I feel that you haven't really seen that too much since, like, I mean, early on, maybe Star Wars, like the Force Awakens, when you first saw all those like kind of actors open up, and then after the next couple of movies, it's kind of just seemed like they were just characters in this like moving plot. But I feel like what she's done with Wonder Woman, like making it a Gal Gadot like starring movie, she knows how to work with you. And like, so when you walk away from that movie, you're like, well, that was an action film, but man, that person jumped off the screen, like, whoa, like I think she has that ability to do it. So I'm excited to see who's going to be in this movie and the way she does it. Cause yeah, that's when you watch Monster, a movie about a serial killer, you walked away like, holy crap, Charlize Theron freaking jumped out of that screen, everyone in that movie. So I think that's the crazy thing about her. She's an action filmmaker, but also makes these people jump out of these movies. And that's I'm like, who are they gonna cast in this? Because it's just gonna be dope. Like, whoever they put in there, she'll know how to get it out of them. So
for sure.
Yeah, I'm pumped for that for sure.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I think that the women that she's gonna put together. I think it's going to be crazy to see these new characters, and obviously these new characters are probably eventually a year from now or 2 years from now are probably going to get a spin-off of their own character that they make up, and then we'll get cameos from things within the Star Wars universe, which is amazing, guys. I mean, we want to see that. That's what we want as Star Wars fans, is we want to see a new show, but we love that, just like they do in Mandalorian, that they sprinkle in all this nostalgic feelings of what has happened in the movies, what happened in other shows, and that's what Patty Jenkins is going to do, because she does that very, very good. I love what she's done cinematography wise with Wonder Woman. Honestly, I think she's one of the best directors out there, not just because she's a woman, just period director. I love how she shoots movies. Wow. I saw the beginning of Wonder Woman, the scene of Wonder Woman, and oh my God, guys, it's a masterpiece. It's a beautiful, scenic, just amazing. I can't wait to see what she does with this Star Wars series. Can't wait.
What excited me about the actual introduction of it, and how she was talking about how she has a much respect for fighter pilots because her dad was one, and how she introduced that in the story of how she's been waiting for a script this whole time to be able to make something that's worthy of her dad, and she finally found one, and it being a Star Wars film. I mean, it could be just a bunch of smoke, right? But I honestly, truly believe her. I believe it, and it's just really exciting to see a Top Gun level, film to hit the Star Wars universe, man. And like what you guys said, like, man, so good.
It's crazy that how long overdue it is for a movie like this from Star Wars, though, because every movie has a dogfight. Every movie has like these scenes where everyone's coming out of their or jumping into their, to their X-wings and stuff like that. So it's like, how long was it going to take? And it's so dope that this is going to be the one that's actually she's going to be the one to do it. And because this is going to be dope. Like just thinking a whole movie about those characters. Those characters are always cool. In every movie.
Yeah, they're the best. Everyone,
even the weird alien ones.
Yeah. It's a
Awesome.
All right, guys, let's go on to the next few. So we have Bad Batch, Disney Plus animated series, follows the immediate aftermath of Clone Wars, which is pretty interesting. Star Wars Visions, this is an anthology collection that will bring 10 fantastic visions from several of the leading Japanese anime studios on Earth. So that's really exciting as well. So another one is The Acolyte, directed by Leslie Headland, is coming to Disney Plus, and it is set in the final days of the High Republic. Now, I don't know if you guys know what High Republic is, but let me explain a little bit about that. The High Republic is a new era, kind of like the Clone Wars era, the New Hope era, right? And then the prequel era. Well, the High Republic is 400 years before the Phantom Menace. So this is where the height of the Jedi were at, and there were no Sith. They thought that the Sith were dead. So they were just kind of, reigning the universe. And now this is the end of it. But this is a dark side centric series. So what do you guys think about that?
I think the thing that really interested me about this series and why I really wanted to talk about this is because it's going to be based out of when Darth Plagueis was around. And Darth Plagueis, I don't know if a lot of you guys know, but he is the master of Palpatine, which we all know from the Star Wars movies. And so they're going to explore some of that. And they're also going to explore what it means to work with the dark side of the Force, from my understanding and reading about what they're going to do for that show. Look, guys, I love both the Force and the dark side. Both of them are super interesting to me, and just to kind of get more of the allure of all the the background, so that things could kind of even more make sense to what we're watching now in the movies and in the shows. I think it's genius. Honestly, it's just genius what they're doing. And this show, Acolyte, if they explore the Darth Plagueis character and everyone that's involved around that era, I think it's just going to be great. And it's going to open up a bunch of other possibilities in moving forward in the Star Wars universe when it comes to movies. So can't be more excited. This is one of the shows that I'm definitely not going to miss when it comes out.
What about you, Ray? What you think?
It seems like it's too much for me. But this is the thing I was saying to you guys before, is that like there is so much like Star Wars stuff. There's so like the universe of Star Wars is so big, like novels and books and movies and comics and cartoons and all this stuff. Like I am in if it's of quality. And what Mandalorian did was showing that, hey, we can make a TV show with quality, probably super cheap and fast, because they knocked this last season out fast. And that's a crazy thing, because if you ever did you guys see like the making of it, where they're filming in those panoramic like kind of just screens around, and they're just filming? Like imagine how much that cost and how much that breaks down timing. Like, okay, now we can film anytime at night or anytime in the day. Like that just breaks down costs so much that these shows are so much cheaper to make and faster to make, that no wonder they announced like 40 freaking shows in a day, because they were like, yeah, we can do it.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
It's just smart. They're like, yeah, let's at least announce all these stuff, and we will try to make it all happen. And as long as we have crews and keeps everyone working, then it's gonna be good. So yeah, it's crazy. I'm excited for it, just to be like, oh cool, that one's cool, then, or maybe not, but to have something like this to pick from, that's cool.
And Ray's right. You're right, Ray. I mean, a lot of people, when they started watching The Mandalorian, when they said, okay, there's going to be a Disney Plus show called The Mandalorian that's based off of loosely about Boba Fett, about, exploring kind of like what he went through of being a Mandalorian, nobody thought that people were going to love it so much. And so I think that with Disney Plus, all these shows that are coming out, they're going to give Disney the benefit of the doubt and watch these shows because of how well Mandalorian did. The same thing that Marvel did with Guardians of the Galaxy. When they were going to come out, they were like, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy, who the hell are they? Nobody knew them. Nobody knew who Star-Lord was. But when they did it, they did such a great job. And now they're just a part of the Marvel universe, and they're great characters. And I think all these new shows, there's going to probably be one or two that hit the mark. But most of them, I really, truly believe that are going to do the same thing that Mandalorian did. I really honestly do.
So let's talk a little bit about those upcoming series. Lando Calrissian will be returning in a brand new event series for Disney Plus. And then also Andor, starring Diego Luna, is set to arrive on 2022, again on Disney Plus. What do you think, guys, of those two series?
If they can capture that same grittiness of Rogue One for this Andor season series, and like heck yeah, like everyone, like when you watch that trailer of Rogue One, you're just like, what? They're making a Star War movie? Like heck yeah, like let's do it. So it's hopefully it has that same type of feel.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I think that they're gonna probably just they're aware that this has an expiration date, obviously, because Diego Luna is not gonna look that young or younger than what he looked at in Rogue One. So I'm sure it's they're looking at a couple of seasons just to explore that character and probably broaden the universe a little bit. But I'm excited, guys. I mean, this character Andor was great. I mean, I loved him. He was, to me, reminded me of loosely of a young Han Solo, in a lot of ways. And so anytime that you can, put someone like that in front of the screen, and when it comes to Star Wars and what he meant in that movie and how important he was, and then obviously what happened to them at the end, it's just obviously you're going to fall in love with that character, especially because of what happens at the end. Hero, and because of him, they were able to move forward in what they were doing when it comes to the Star Wars movies moving forward. And he was a pivotal reason why that was able to be. So, I mean, let's not forget the Rogue One ending, guys. With Darth, that was crazy. So I'm really excited for this series as well. It's just, dude, all these series I'm excited for. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but they're
I know. They're just so good. So we also have the Rangers of the New Republic, a new live action series produced by Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. They are also another series called Ahsoka, and that's based off of Ahsoka Tano's story, written by Dave Filoni, and it will continue with Rosario Dawson, and it's going to be set in the timeline of The Mandalorian. So these two shows are going to be set in the same timeline. So what do you guys think about that?
Hey, what do you think, Ish? What do you think about the Ahsoka?
So those, I just am so grateful that I really am. Like, you guys have no idea. Like, I remember hating this character.
He thinks it's a church.
I'm just like so grateful for this character, because this character has really allowed us to appreciate more of like characters from like Anakin and Vader, of course. And even now that we see Mandalorian, like the Mandalorian is the Iron Man of Disney Plus. He is bringing different shows to light, and he's starting his own universe. So now this is going to be the Mandoverse, pretty much, and we're Mandoverse, like Arrowverse type of deal. Anyway, so it's bringing Ahsoka Tano to her own series. She deserves it. The cool factor of her is off the charts, but also her storyline is great. If you guys want to like check it out, you got to check out the animated series Clone Wars and Rebels. I've been preaching about this for months now, and finally we're getting it. And I called it a long time ago, and I'm grateful that's happening. So,
trust me, you don't make me forget that you called it. That's
yeah,
he did call it though.
I got it right. Yeah. Anyway,
super excited for that too.
All right. Okay. So the last piece of news for our hard top tops, which has been very long today, we are going to be talking about Hayden Christensen back, and he's returning as Darth Vader in Disney Plus's Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Ray, what do you think, Ray? This is all you right here, man. I can feel the force right now.
I've told Ish they need to explain how Obi-Wan Kenobi aged like 40 years in the amount of like 10 years. They're supposed to be, he ages so old and so fast. He goes from like being a 40-year-old guy to being like 80 years old, and there's only like 15 years or like 19 years in between.
After Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. There's they got to explain, like, maybe wherever he's at, where was he at? Tatooine, that ages you or something like that. Yeah. It's like,
hey, maybe it took a life of drinking and smoking. You never know, Ray. You never
know. It's true. The Force, leaving the Force weighs hard on you. No, I'm in. I'm excited to see what they do. I was more excited when it was just the Obi-Wan thing, but now that Hayden Christensen's in, I'm kind of like, he's he overacted a little bit, and I wasn't, too much about it, but I'm excited. Like I said, they've bought a lot of good hope from me with Mandalorian and all the stuff they've done, so I'm in for sure.
One of the things for me, and Ray's right? I mean, he did overact in a lot of these movies. I loved him in Revenge of the Sith. That's my favorite one out of the 3 prequels. I'm excited for him to come back. I was always on his side when it came to the Revenge of the Sith movie. The other 2, I had the Clone Wars, I'm sorry, the second one was really, really hard to get on his side about it. But the third one I really liked. And so with this news coming back and it being 10 years after the Revenge of the Sith, it's just, to me, kind of still, I'm curious of how they're gonna approach it, especially because I think they're breaking a couple of rules of what happened in the original Star Wars and the 3, 4, and 5, George Lucas directed ones. Because I think something doesn't line up. I can't remember what it is, but there's something that they did, and maybe you can tell us a little bit more about that, Ish. But as far as the Obi-Wan series coming out, guys, it's gonna be amazing. They're gonna put money in. I mean, they're already gonna put money in every show, but this is gonna be their baby. Everybody's gonna be watching it things are going to happen in this show that are going to open up the universe to a lot of other things so that we can get more movies, more shows in the beginning. This is just the beginning of what Disney Plus right now has to offer. And I'm glad, because I've been paying freaking $7.99 for I don't know how many freaking months, and I don't really watch it except for The Mandalorian and sometimes, Remember the Titans, because that's one of my favorite movies. But that's all I used it for. And so I'm glad that all this content is going to be out there for us to watch, and especially because it's going to take us a freaking year to get to Mandalorian again. And so hopefully all these shows kind of are able to kind of fulfill us until we get there back to the Mandalorian. So love the news.
Darth Vader series.
I think that's what they're doing. I think they're shoehorning a Darth Vader series into this series of Obi-Wan. I think it's going to be that. That's what they're doing. I think that it's going to be showing like either the chase of Darth Vader, him becoming it, chasing Obi-Wan, or something in that way. But like it is going to be, they're kind of going to use that as a jumping off point, which is kind of weird. Not weird, but isn't like Hayden Christensen is going to just going to be burned the whole series? Like he's not going to be like, it's like he's Darth Vader. It's like, so I mean, it's gonna be interesting, but I think that's what they're trying to do.
There's a comic book, just Darth Vader series, and it's all about him after Clone Wars and how he became like an apprentice for Sidious, like the Emperor, right? So in New Hope, when Obi-Wan and Vader face, he says, Darth Vader tells Obi, the last time we met, I was just an apprentice. Okay. Or something along those lines, like he was just learning. So they're rewriting that to say that he was an apprentice of the dark side, not that it was his apprentice. So now when they remet, he is just a Padawan of the dark side, So that kind of does make sense. And then Kathleen Kennedy actually says, Kathleen Kennedy said that this is the rematch of the century. That's pretty much what she said. So it does make sense. I kind of agree with Ray though on some points on that, because it does feel like I was more excited about it just being about Obi-Wan, and I still think that it will, but having the Vader part to it is just really overcasting like the Obi-Wan storyline, So
but how crazy gonna be when we see Obi-Wan and Darth Vader go at it again, dude? We're gonna lose our freaking minds, bro.
Yeah, at their maybe not at their prime, but like really, it won't be just standing around hitting your lightsaber once or twice. You know what I mean? Like in New Hope, it's gonna be a lot. I think it's gonna be a lot more raw. You know what I mean? Kind of like the Force Awakens. Their lightsaber fights in Force Awakens, I think, is some of the best. Like Rey is not trained, and then Kylo is just kind of teasing her, and I feel like there's a lot of mistakes there and stuff like that. And I really do love that dueling. I just freaking love it. And I think that's going to be how Obi-Wan is going to be like. So can't wait for
Revenge of the Sith is my favorite for all saber fighting, dude.
Too much.
Revenge of the Sith best. I'm sorry, I disagree with you on that.
All right. Cool. So let's do this, guys. Let's go on to streaming and chilling. Yeah.
Streaming and chill.
So today we have a special edition of this because Ray is here, and we are going to be doing top 3 streams of the year, and we're going to be doing our picks. We're going to go down the list of our number 1, 2s, and 3s, or 3, 2s, and 1s, and then we're going to talk about it. So let's go for it. Ramon.
Who's going first?
Let's do Ramon.
So my number 3 would probably be Palm Springs. Great summer movie that came out on Hulu with Andy Samberg. Amazing. It's like the Groundhog Day stuck in a loop, and he's just living the same day, going to the same wedding every day, and it's probably one of the funniest movies I've seen in a long time. I wish I probably would have seen it in a theater with like a bunch of people, but it's so good. It's so worth watching. It's on Hulu. It's a great movie for the summer.
Like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, it is. He's stuck in a loop. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's really great.
Wedding? Oh my gosh, the weddings are stressful, dude. I don't know.
Yeah. It's great. It's great. Definitely a recommend. Check it out. It's a good date movie.
We'll do. I love him, dude.
Yeah.
I love that dude. All right, Ant. What about you?
For me, it's going to be obviously, you guys already know Mandalorian is one of the best shows ever. It's I don't think I've ever seen a show that this great before. So that is one of my biggest picks of the year for 2020. So check it out, Mandalorian. This last show that they just did was amazing as well, with them getting that one guy out of prison, helping him get the code so that they can find Lord Gideon. And then at the end of the show was so great. But yeah, Mandalorian is one of them for 2020.
What's the comedian's name? I forgot his name right now. The guy that got broken out of prison.
Simon something, right? Simon?
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get killed for this. But his story arc, huh?
The comedian Bill Burr.
Yeah, Bill Burr. Thank you so much.
Bill Burr, that's right.
I can't believe I can't remember that. Bill Burr's story arc in this episode was amazing, dude. It was so well thought out. There was so much layers to it. There's some names dropped on the Empire side of things, dude. This episode was ridiculous. Like, I'm really close to saying that was my favorite episode of the season, to be honest with you. So
yeah, it was good stuff.
Really
it was good. that trope, though, that same trope that happens in like war movies where the guy is just going undercover and he can't hold it in and he just has to let go. That's happens in so many good war movies, but it's just like, cool, it's in a Star Wars movie. It's really cool.
Exactly.
And then we see Mando's face again in this one.
Pedro Pascal's face, beautiful face.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Great.
Pretty cool.
All right. For my own self, I mean, I had Mandalorian 2, so we'll just do that as 3. I have Queen's Gambit. Okay. It's a limited series on Netflix. This show showed me how limited series are the way of the future. As you can see, Disney Plus and all these other streaming platforms are taking this route. They're all limited series instead of a huge movie. Queen's Gambit was supposed to be a movie, but the script got turned into a show, and now it's an amazing show. It's like the second most streamed episode show on Netflix. It's so great, guys. Storytelling is amazing. Production is great. The costumes are amazing, and just the scripting the dialogue is really good too. I just cannot say enough good things about the show.
I still have not seen it, so I will take your recommendation.
Watch it, Ray.
And watch
You
it.
watch it.
Yeah.
What's the second one, Ray?
I'm gonna give you both of them right now. So Ozark season 3, amazing, blew my mind. Just every episode, it gives me that Breaking Bad fix, like that feeling after when every episode ends. It's always like, holy crap, I need to watch the next one. Like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? So that is just blows my mind. Like that show is just the writing, the direction, like the way they can just do little detours and all this stuff. It's just great. Everyone's great in that. Gets you so pumped for another season. And then my other one is The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan documentary that came out this year. Dude,
That's a great
so
one.
good. Oh man, there's so many good moments. The person who made it like knew exactly, had such a clear vision of how he wanted, just the way the time went forward, then the time went back, and then how both timelines came right together is just perfect. It's just really great. And the way they made it is just filmmaking. Michael Jordan, just so many memes, so many memes from that just one basketball. Everyone was so hyped for like sports because it was gone for a couple months, and it's like the perfect insert of that and just perfect memes from that show. But it is just such a cool piece of art that some dude made that was like, I need to use this footage from that last year that Jordan played with the Bulls, and yeah, got it. And it blew my mind. So awesome.
I think I watched The Last Dance. I think I watched it 5 times already.
Yeah.
All the shows. It was so great. That was a great pick. I had forgotten about that. I'll give you guys my 2 as well. My second pick is a show. I was gonna say Queen's Gambit because I love that one, but I'll say the show called Never Say Never. It's about an Indian girl that grows up in a high school, and it's really funny, guys. My girl kind of put me onto it, and I just started watching the whole series, and I can't wait for season 2 because there's like a little cliffhanger at the end. It's on Netflix. Check it out. It's really cool. It's really good. I have no business watching that, really. I wouldn't watch it if I hadn't, if she hadn't introduced it to me, but it's just so entertaining that you guys check it out. It's called Never Say Never. I'm sure you guys will like it. And my third pick is a show called Afterlife, and it's about it follows with the actor Ricky Gervais, and it follows a man that loses his wife to, I believe it was leukemia or a sickness, and it just follows him in his day-to-day life. At first I wasn't very excited about watching something like that because I don't like, shows that are downers like that too much. But believe it or not, guys, he makes it so funny and makes it very, very watchable and friendly and funny and delighting. I was really delighted to watch that show because of how it made me feel about how he approaches death and her death, and it's not always great. I mean, he just shows the real ugly, but they do it in a very, very elegant way where it's funny, but it's also very serious, and the characters that come out are also very funny. And so check it out, guys. It's Afterlife with Ricky Gervais. So those are my two.
Cool. Only got one left. It's We're Raised by Wolves on HBO Max. It's produced and directed by Ridley Scott and his son. And it's a sci-fi utopia series. It's super good. Twists and turns, great Ridley Scott stuff, sci-fi stuff in it. It's just a great time to watch. I highly suggest you watch it. It's one of HBO's best sci-fi series. So you got to watch it. All right, guys. Well, Ray, can you let everyone know where they could find you and kind of promote the last feature?
Yeah, for sure. Check out Ducks Fly Together podcast. You can check us out on Instagram, and it's on streaming on Spotify. New episodes Mondays, and you can follow me on Instagram at I am Ray T. You can follow my music at Forum Blue Music on Instagram, or check out my album on iTunes. All that junk, but check out Ducks Fly Together podcast. I promise you'll get like a wave of nostalgia, and it'll blow your mind of how ridiculous we get into the details and plot holes of the Mighty Ducks franchise. So yeah, check it out.
Yeah, well, we want to thank Ray for joining us today. It was a great time. We got, guys, like always, we thank you guys for joining us. We thank you guys for the views, everything you guys do for us. We appreciate so much. And as always, and like always, stay
movie-minded.
Oh, movie-minded.